So we all heard the big news yesterday about the Baltimore Ravens deciding to part ways with longtime kicker Justin Tucker after 13 seasons with the team. And this one could really break down into, of course, we'll get into the stats and so forth about his his career worst overall this past year. But it really goes into the allegations of the misconduct and you call it sexual assault, sexual misconduct, however it may be, similar instances to Deshaun Watson in his also allegations, his controversies as well he dealt with years ago and at times still dealing with to this day. You look at that. Many women have come out against Justin Tucker, kind of reiterating the similar instances that they've been encountered with Justin Tucker. So again, are there some people that is every single person telling the truth? I don't know, but you kind of feel like if with that many type of people coming out against them, that something has to be true about it. So that certainly no doubt played a factor in that. I did make a video on it a couple of months ago in February when it first came out, the news about that, and nothing happened right away, of course, but a few months later now we are at this point where the day recording yesterday he was let go in this one. So on the screen right now, like I said, is going to be the statement that the Baltimore Ravens came out with. It says sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this one was those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made it the tough decision to release Justin Tucker. Tucker created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, and resilience and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are grateful for Justin's many contributions while playing with the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the very best in this next chapter of their lives. So nothing too specific. I mean, kind of always the typical bare bones cliche response for that. Yeah, we know about the allegations, we know about the instances with that, and I'm sure that no doubt they did play a big factor because when you look at quickly going to his contract, they took a hit on his deal with a pre June 1st release. They lost not a ton of money, but they lost $455,000 releasing him. That cap of 7.51 because of that release. You could have waited post June 1st to save money, 4.2 million. So no doubt that this was something that it had to be serious about. If they were taking, again, it's not a ton of money, it's not millions of dollars they lost in this transaction, but something where if they're willing to take the loss on that there had to be something with that. And again, on the field wise, too, what is certainly something you could point out to does not help his case whatsoever. On top of the allegations, but I do believe the allegations were a big contributor with this one. But going back to the stats of what he did there. This is by far the worst, and we'll get to that in a second, showing his overall grade from this past year all the way to 2013, how far they go back for PFF. He was 33rd in NFL in his overall grade, if you believe in that, 60.5. If you look at the advanced stats down below, field goals attempted, he was 17th. Field goals made, he was 23rd. Field goals attempted from 50+, he was 6th. He was 11th made for 50+. Field goal percentage, he was 35th in NFL. And then PATs attempted 3rd, PATs made 2nd. So the PATs in the short distance is not the issue. And we're going to show that right now in the advanced stats here. This past year, again, overall PFF grade, horrible. The second worst is back in 2014 with 67.2, which even then is, it's still a huge drop off from that past one, just under 7 points in that. So you look at that. And again, the PATs, he was 60 to 62, 96.8, which is not the end of the world. That's still great. You saw it in the ranking, 2nd in made and 3rd in attempts. So nothing horrible with that. But what we're really going to focus on is the overall field goal percentage, like we talked about, 73.3, as well as, again, from 40 and beyond. So you look at from 20 to 29, he was 4 for 4, 100%. 30 to 39, he was 7 for 7, 100%. This is where it started to really dip down drastically. From 40 to 49, he was 5 of 8, or 62.5%. 50+, he was 6 of 11, 54.5%. And that is a huge drop-off. Huge drop-off. This is kind of like his bread and butter. This is what he was known for, to come out there in in the pressure moments, in the big moments, the big kicks from 40+, 50+, and it was surefire money. It was guaranteed he was going to make it for years. That's what it always was, and you see that statistically too, that he was unbelievable from that range. But you started to see some of the cracks a little bit in that one. I mean, 2022 he did have it was 4 or 5, 80%, but still great with that. But last year you look at that. especially from 50 plus. In 2023, 1 of 5, 20%, brutal, absolutely awful in that one. It did go up, so he did improve from 23 to 24, but again, from his standard and what we've known him for years, it's still not good enough from either year in that one. Again, from years past, even in the 40 to 49, it dropped down drastically. I mean, it is by far the worst field goal percentage in the 40 plus range. The second worst one is, if I'm scrolling, 81.8% in 2018. I mean, again, it just shows you the big drop off he had this year in some categories, even field goal percentage too. You look at that. The second worst one is, for scrolling really quickly, 82.5%. I mean, it just shows you it's a huge drop off in some of these instances here with that one. I mean, you look at everything all together. Up there in age, 35 years old, the money that he was set to make before the release, over $7 million. And again, everything all together with allegations and so forth. I don't know if he's going to get an opportunity. Now, would it shock me? No, because NFL, there's plenty of players that get into trouble and find their way back into a roster. I mean, you look at, I'm sure you guys seen the reports about Henry Ruggs, about him maybe getting an opportunity once again, coming out of prison soon, or potentially getting out of prison soon, and maybe making an NFL comeback with that. So you look at that. I mean, look what he did, and I wouldn't surprise me at all if he gets a shot. So you look at Justin Tucker with the allegations, you think, well, why would someone want to deal with that? Fortunately, you look at Deshaun Watson with that. Now, two different positions and stuff like that, more important for that. But again, you look at that, the countless allegations he got, he was still given the opportunity. So Justin Tucker, I'm not ruling out he won't get a job or won't get an opportunity to compete in the training camp or preseason. But again, why we're on here, I said I just don't know if he's going to get an opportunity. Not sure if Justin Tucker will get another job here at age 35, coming off a career worst in field goal percentage, and I laid down the whole stats on there for the field goal percentage, 40 plus, 50 plus, and so forth, on top of the allegations. So again, I don't know what the future is for Justin Tucker, again, with the age and so forth, coming off that career worst. Is he gonna get better? It's very difficult. I mean, you look at this, I mean, certainly some instances he could get better at. I mean, 73.3% is, no doubt he has a capability of rising above that and getting better and getting back into like the 80s standpoint. 50 plus, I don't know if it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, or it's going to stay relatively the same for that. But I overall, I feel like I will say this: I think he'll get one more opportunity. I think a team will give him an opportunity to try out, and that's that. But to me, I think overall, if that even does happen, I just don't see it going too far. Maybe he plays one more year, but I think this potentially is the final time we see Justin Tucker in the NFL and really playing. And it's very unfortunate. No doubt it is. It's very unfortunate because of mostly again on top of the allegations for that disturbing reports about that. It's very unfortunate because he was a unbelievable, fantastic first ballot Hall of Famer kicker. You could say arguably the best kicker of all time. And again, just very unfortunate how things played out for that. It's a huge different spotlight how we look at him. And if it's true, all done on his own, all done on him by himself. It's his actions, his consequences, and if it's true, absolutely, he should never play in the NFL again. Absolutely, he should never get an opportunity to have a job in the sport. So, and we'll see how it plays out with that. If he does get an opportunity again, we'll see what happens for the rest of the offseason for him.